What up, guys? Today is part one of, Dodge game, which is a game you move your character and try to dodge stuff that's coming at you. Now, the reason why I'm doing splitting this into two parts, I don't think I'm gonna create a part three, is because I want to try to make multiple types of enemies rather than just one, just constantly shooting at you and just getting faster. But I don't want that, and I wanted to have some different types, so that's why I have two parts. I don't think I can fit all of that into a single part. So let's get started. I have two blank sprites, player and the enemy, and I just colored the background dark into a dark color. So for the player, what you're gonna do is draw your player. In my case, I think I'm just gonna do a simple circle, um, which is going to be, I think, around 36 by 36. Now you can check that up here. It says 36 by 36. So that means I got the size. So now what I'm gonna do is when green flag is clicked, we're going to show and go to 0, 0, and then forever motion, we're going to change X by and change Y by. Let's go to operators, get to division signs, and then to subtraction size. And let's go to sensing, mouse X, mouse Y, and then motion X position and a Y position. I think we can input 3 into those two slots. Now what this will do is make the ball glide to your mouse pointer, which is good. Now we will move on to that enemy. So for the costumes, you're just gonna draw a shape. I think what I'm gonna do is a red triangle. So what you're gonna do is draw a perfect square by holding shift and then creating a square. And I think I'm gonna get the first one around 24 by 24. And then here's an easy way to create a square. You just click a dot right there, pointed, and we delete this one, and we'll delete this one. So there's a triangle, and I'm just going to duplicate that and then make this bigger into a 36 by 36. I mean 32 by 32. Doesn't really matter. You can actually make it bigger. I think I'm going to make it bigger into a 36 by 36, and I'm going to make it a tiny bit darker so it's a bit different. Let's go to events, go when green flag is clicked. We're going to show, we're going to set our ghost effect to 100. Now what we're going to do is create all the variables we need for this episode. And the first one is speed for this sprite only, and this for the enemy sprite, and the type for enemy sprite for this sprite only, score for all sprites, and spawn rate for all sprites. You can hide all of those except for the score. Just double click on the score and put it in the top center of your screen. So that's going to display your score. Now we're going to set our score to 0 when green flag is clicked. Then we're going to go to control, wait 2 seconds. You obviously can input a different value, and then a forever loop. Now this 2 seconds is a delay between the first mob spawning when the game starts, so I think I recommend a bit over 2 seconds actually. So I'll go with 2.5 seconds. And the next thing I'm going to do is motion, go to operators, pick a random. I think I'm going to negative 400, 400, do the same for the other one, negative 400, 400. Now what you can do is get a code control, get a repeat until, and get a touching edge. Put it right in there, duplicate it, put it in there, get rid of the repeat until, and that's going to be good. Now the reason why we have to put another one outside of the repeat until is because we're never going to change if we don't put that in. So because when it runs the first time, it just okay chooses a spot and it's touching the edge. So okay, that's good, and then it goes through. The next time it cycles through, it is already touching the edge, so this won't actually run and then just pass, which means the enemy is gonna spawn at the exact same spot from where it spawned, and I don't think we want that, so we're gonna put that in. Now for right now, what I'm gonna do is if else equals pick random 1 2 3 equals 1, then we're going to switch costume to 2, which is the big one, and then we're going to switch costume to 1 if not. So what we're going to do is variables set speed to 3 and set type to 2. We're going to duplicate that, put it in here, set type to 1 and set speed to 6. It's double it. So now let's go to control, create clone of myself. We're gonna change score by 1 and then wait. We're gonna wait spawn rate seconds. Now obviously if we want more mons like the enemy type, we can go on with this if else loop. Actually I'll show you one right now. So let's say I wanted a harder mob that is, more rare. I'll do pick random 1 to 20 if equals 1, and then I will put this entire code in the else, and then just take these out. It's not part of the type choosing, and then that would mean it would be type 3. So I'll just leave it at that because we're not going to do that in this episode. So the thing you're going to do is go to control, get when I start as a clone. When I start as a clone, go to looks, set the size to the size you want. I think my current sprites are a bit tiny, so I'm going to rank the size up, and then now I'm going to clear graphic effects because it's currently hiding with a ghost effect, and we will set our brightness effect to go to operators, pick a random, -10 to 10. We're just going to make it a tiny bit darker or tiny bit lighter. And we're going to motion, we're going to point towards the player, but then adjust our direction a tiny bit, -40 to 40. And then we're going to do control if else, if equals type is 3. We're going to delete this clone because we don't have a 3 yet. We just have 1 or 2. So else we have 1 or 2 for now. So I don't think we have to put another if else right now. So I'm just going to do repeat, I don't know, 40 times. And then we're going to move, speed steps, and then if touching the player, then we're going to stop all. Now the reason why we're doing this is because when it spawns, it's going to be touching the edge, and we just do, forever move, and if touching player, stop all. If touching edge, delete, then it's just going to delete itself right away, and I don't think we want that, so we do need that in there. So get a forever loop and put it right there. Just duplicate this entire thing and duplicate this if statement once again. If touching edge, we are going to my block, create a block, delete, and then do not check the run without screen refresh because we're going to use our repeat loop in it. So we're just going to quickly drag this, quickly drag this over here. And then we're going to do control, repeat, I don't know, 10 times I guess. Then we're going to change size by -10, and we're going to be moving speed steps, and then we're gonna delete this column. What this does, it gives a fade out effect. Now it should be working. basic thing. There you go. Oh god. Okay. Now I did forget a code. That is why this thing is going crazy. The code I have missed is events. When green flag is clicked, reset timer. And then forever, we're going to set spawn rate to negative. Let's do 0.8 and divided by timer divided by 200. I think that's going to be good. And then actually what we're going to do is go to events, get a when I receive block. Let's create a new message. Begin, start, whatever you want. We can, put that right there. And then you can come here. And then when I receive begin, we will be doing this. And then when green flag's clicked, we can do that. And that's looking good. Let's go to the player. We can stick this off and put begin. Create a new sprite. You're going to do click to begin for the name. And as it says, what we're going to do is make, a sentence that says click to begin, dot, dot, dot. And I think I'm going to put that in the center it. And then again, when green flag is clicked, we can go to x and y of -50. And what we can do is wait until operators not mouse down, and then wait until mouse down, and then we can broadcast begin and hide. And actually, you have to put a show at the top. So what this will do is complete our progress for episode 1. So if we click, the game begins, and the enemies should start spawning. There you go. Now they're not going crazy and all. Actually, what we have to do is go back to enemies, and then make that 50, because I don't know if you saw, but the big enemy was, start despawning when it just start, right over here. Because the reason of that is when the 40 repeatedly was completed, I was still touching the edge and it deleted itself. I don't think we want that, so yeah, there you go. Oops. And when we get a big one spawning, we will be able to see that it won't be deleting itself when it just comes out of a wall. There you go. That didn't delete it itself. So this is cool and all, but if these two are all there is, it's going to be pretty boring, at least for me. So next episode, I think we're going to be adding new enemy types, and I think that's going to be how the series ends. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will be back for the next episode. Peace.